Have you ever wondered which generation and age group is driving the music economy? Because there's so many things competing for our wallets with things like streaming, concert tickets, digital downloads, and vinyl revivals. So, which age group actually spends the most on music? And I want you to guess first. Write down your answer first before I reveal what the answer is by the end of the video. And before I reveal which age group spends the most, we need to understand how different generations consume music today. First, we have the Gen Z. They were born between 1997 to 2012, and the Gen Zs have grown up entirely in the digital age. They are used to streaming platforms, social media, and instant access to virtually any song ever recorded. So for them, music discovery happens through TikTok, through YouTube, through Instagram, through challenges and everything. We have the millennials too. They were born between 1981 to 1996. Now, the millennials experienced the transition from physical media to digital downloads to streaming. They remember buying CDs. They've lived through the Napster era. They've witnessed the rise of iTunes, and they now embrace both streaming and the vinyl revival. We now move on to the Gen X. They were born in 1965 to 1980. Now, this generation grew up with records, cassettes, and CDs. They experience music as a physical commodity, and they have built substantial collections over decades. But they also maintain some of these collections whilst also adapting to newer technologies. Well, some of them. And finally, we have the baby boomers who were born between 1946 to 1964. Now, the boomers lived through the golden age of rock, pop, and so many musical revolutions. They established the foundation of music as a commercial product, and they have decades of purchasing habits behind them. Now, to understand which group spends the most, we need to consider all forms of music spending. First, we have streaming subscriptions. So these are monthly payments to services like Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon Music, and others. And they represent the most consistent form of music spending today. We now move on to physical media. So despite, predictions of its, demise, physical music sales, including vinyl records, CDs, and even cassettes, continue to grow today. We now move on to digital downloads. So these are declining, I'll say, but some consumers still purchase individual tracks or albums through, platforms like iTunes or Bandcamp. Which reminds me, how do you buy your music? Let me know in the comments. We also have concert and live event tickets. So this represents the highest form of spending. This is the largest expenditure for music fans, because they spend money on tickets, and it varies from artist to artist and the venue as well. And finally, we have merch and related products. So these are the t-shirts, the posters, the special editions, and everything. Now, when we look at the streaming services, the younger demographic, obviously they show the higher adoption rate. So Gen Zs and younger millennials are mostly likely to pay for a premium subscription service. I have a subscription service with Apple. That's what I pay for, and that's how I consume my music. How do you consume your music? But interestingly, physical media sales have also experienced like a new trend. There's a trend by just one age group, and they spend most of it. Live concert tickets also, because this is the highest expenditure. It seems like older consumers tend to spend more on concert experiences. They are more likely to purchase premium seating. They are more likely to attend multiple shows per year. Even if you look at social media, let's say Beyonce's concert recently, I've paid attention to the people who show, on their pages that they have went to multiple concerts. It's always the older consumers. Older consumers. Young consumers attend concerts frequently, but they often prioritize quantity over premium expenses. So they will pay less. They will look for affordable tickets and everything. Now, to get to the answer, we need to understand something, which is purchasing power and priorities. A crucial factor in music spending is disposable income. Different life stages significantly impact how much money people can dedicate to entertainment purposes. Younger adults often face financial constraints from student loans, they have entry level salaries, they have higher living costs. Whilst they are the most passionate about music, they are very passionate about music, their spending power is limited. Now, middle-aged consumers typically have higher incomes. They have already established their careers. They may have fewer financial obligations related to education. This demographic often have the most disposable income available for entertainment spending. And older adults may have reduced incomes due to retirement, but they also have fewer major expenses. So they have more money to spend, on entertainment. So what's the answer? Which age group spends the most on music? The data consistently shows that adults aged 35 to 54 are the highest spenders on music. This demographic, primarily consisting of older millennials and younger Gen X, represents the sweet spot of music spending. More specifically, the 45 to 54 age group often tops the chart for total music expenditure. This combined sales, there's several factors that have this. They have peak earning power. They have established their music taste already. They already know who they like, so they're going to spend on that person. They like to experience nostalgia for artists from their youth, and they have the financial means to indulge in premium music experiences. So whilst the age group 35 to 44 age group also ranks high in music spending, showing that the peak music spending, it spans over decades, but the 45 to 54, that's where it is. And like I've said, they have the financial capacity, they need the musical nostalgia, they have established their preferences, they can spend on concerts and do the premium everything. They can spend on multiple platforms. So what do you think? Do you think this analysis is right? What did you predict in the beginning before the answer was revealed? Let me know. Once again, thank you for watching, and thank you all to the commenters and the subscribers.